Hey guys, so today I wanted to show you how I taught Tucker to move sideways, or also known as lateral movements. If you want to do leg yields or side passes or half passes under saddle, the best place to start is on the ground. So I'll show you what I do on the ground and then how that correlates to when you get on the horse. And before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and like this video to see more weekly horse videos. So to get started, I always recommend you have a rope halter and lead and then a lunge whip. I always say the lunge whip isn't for hitting the horse, it's simply to use as an extension of your arm and to help communicate better to them. If you ever watched a horse move laterally and really paid attention to your feet, you'll see that both sets of feet are crossing over each other like this. And so the first thing that I usually do when I teach my horses to move laterally is I start by just practicing moving one end and the other end separately and just getting that stepping over motion. And so I usually start with the back end because that's usually easier for the horse to get the feel of stepping one foot over the other. So I'll show you guys how I do that. Tucker's an old pro at moving his back end over, so he's really responsive when I do this. But as you can see, I'm bringing my hand up to his withers with the rope in it to apply pressure. And then I'm going to use the end of the lead rope or the crop to signal his back end to move as I step towards his back end. So that pressure that I'm putting on by walking towards the back end and swinging the rope, and also that pressure applied to his face, is going to signal to him to move his back end over. So if you're new to this, or if your horse is new to this, the concept of getting the hind end to step around may be difficult. So you can try this easier exercise to begin with. All I do is stand at the horse's withers and I will bring their head around. So then it's really easy for them to step their back end around when I ask them to. So once you can get the back end to move, now it's time to start moving the shoulders. This concept may be a little harder for the horse to grasp. So it's just important that you're asking effectively and that you're just also being patient with the horse. So I've noticed if horses haven't ever been asked to do this before, they kind of will want to just either step away from you, like step forward, or run into you with their shoulder or something. So what I usually just start by doing is like getting them to move away from my hand, as you can see. So when you put your hand up to the horse's eye, that's acting as kind of a wall, and you know, it's right towards their eye, so they're gonna move away from it. And that's usually where I start. And then after that, I'll advance to like more movement compared to just getting them to step away from me with that movement. So I find the easiest way to teach a horse to do this is rely a lot on your own body language to get them to step away from you. And this is great because it's also teaching them to respect your personal space. So as you can see with Tucker, I'm gonna use the rope, swinging it at his shoulder to get him to step over, but I'm still also using my hand going up to his eye and also kind of stepping towards him to keep him out of my space and encourage him to step over. Once you have both of your horse's ends moving to the point where they're crossing one leg in front of the other, now you can put two and two together and ask them for a lateral movement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fence as kind of a guide for the horse, and this will just help them from walking out of the movement, and it will just encourage them to move in that straight lateral line. What I start with is I'll ask the horse to move the front end over by bringing my hand up, and then once they step that end, then I'll encourage them to step their hind end. And the reason I'm still kind of doing this in two separate increments is because the horse may not understand yet if I ask them to move at the same time, just because it's still new to them. So by doing this, that's going to encourage them to put two and two together, so when I ask them to move over with one movement, they'll do it. When it comes to moving both ends at once and encouraging that lateral movement, I'm just going to use my body the most as the thing to push the horse laterally. I'm not going to touch him or anything, as you can see, but I still may put my hand up towards the face just to encourage them to move away from the hand, and I'll just use the crop to encourage the hind end to move. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and also subscribe to our channel. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and there will be more videos to come. I don't even know if you're gonna like these, buddy. Oh. Like, these are not treats. They're so tiny.